Happy Saturday morning, everybody. 1 down, 2 to go. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series finished their championship race off in Phoenix, Arizona last night. Corey Heim set records for the history of the NASCAR Truck Series. He led the most laps for a singular year. That means they started at Daytona and they ended at Phoenix, and Corey Heim set a record. He led more laps for the total year for all the racetracks than anybody in history. 12 wins, 13 wins, whatever it was. Complete domination at Phoenix on Friday night. And Matt Crafton made a little bit of news after the truck race, and we're going to talk about that too. But let's talk about this truck race. And then on Sunday morning, we'll talk about the Xfinity race. Okay, if you see the highlight towards the end of the truck race, they're 7 wide, 7 trucks wide. It's like, is there any racetrack that's 7 lane wide? No. But at Phoenix, you're allowed to use where you're not supposed to race. But NASCAR goes, go ahead. You know, when they built that racetrack, that was the back straightaway. And then when they really fixed Phoenix up, they made that the front straightaway. Nobody stays on the racetrack anymore. They go down on the apron. And so that allowed everybody to be 7 wide. And that, my friends, was what Corey Heim had to do. He pitted for 4 tires when other people didn't pit, and some people pitted for right sides only. He came from 5th or 6th row, just with a couple laps to go, and he went 7 wide on the inside. This young man. How old is Corey Heim? Is he 19, 20 years old? He's young. He's young. And like Denny Hamlin said that Corey Heim is coming, and he is more mature than any great race car driver at that age that he's ever seen. That's a good shout out by Denny Hamlin. So congratulations to Corey Heim. Well deserved, well done. And he is going to be a NASCAR Cup champion one day. I can tell just by the way I watch him drive. Okay, now let's talk about the Crybabies. The race is over, and there's a group of people that want to prove that the NASCAR championship format across the board, across all 3, series, they want to prove that it's bad. So when Corey Heim made that 7 wide move and eventually took the lead from Ty Majeski, who only had right sides on, Ty is a great race car driver, but he only had right side tires. Corey had 4 tires on, so he had an advantage. And Corey had led the whole race anyway. They was going to try to steal it from Corey Heim. So there's a group of people after the truck race that went, Corey Heim lagged back. He got a running start, and that's illegal. People. There's somebody on my timeline that wrote a novel and posted and pasted and, took a picture and then he took a picture right here, and then over here he wrote what he thought. Then down here there was another picture and he wrote what he thought. That. I love the passion, but people, you gotta admit when you're beat. When I'm gonna put the knife in my back so you all feel better. There was a time that I was just devastated when I realized that God gave Jeff Gordon more talent than me. And I was like, oh, it was a crushing blow. So my message for all of you, if I can recognize and give people credit when I know they're better than me, I know it hurts like hell, but you just got to let it go. Corey Heim, I don't care if he lagged back a half a truck, a one truck, or whatever the hell. He's the best. And when you can admit that, you'll be free and you'll be happier with yourself. Now, to end this, the front stretch interviewed Matt Crafton after the race. Now, I want to be clear. Matt Crafton, what he said, they kept asking him, and he kept answering. And it's like, Matt, you know, you're a champion. You're great. You had a wonderful truck career. And, Matt Crafton is a champion, is a winner. He's great. But he, like anybody, he's getting older, and it's time to race less and do what he wants to do. So they said, okay, Matt, next year when you race part-time in the truck series, what are you looking at doing? And Matt simply said, I want to race where I matter, where I can use my 2 feet and make a difference. Matt Crafton clearly said the 1.5 miles are no good for the trucks right now because NASCAR messed all the rules up and you just hold it wide open and there's not enough horsepower. Well, I would say that he told the truth, but he had a horrible night. And I liked what Matt Crafton said. He said, hey, look, we're just going to forget about it. You know, we're not going to let this last year or two. And Matt said our program got worse the last 2 years. And I can tell you this, and it happened to me. There was a time I was bitter about NASCAR. I was bitter just because did not go good for me. But once I moved back to St. Louis, started running my dirt car, and I started, forgiving myself for me not running real good, I started loving NASCAR again. So in the heat of the battle, you're going to say some things you don't want to say. And Matt Crafton last night, he told that guy, he goes, man, listen, our truck team has gone the wrong direction the last 2 or 3 years. We are no good. And when your team goes the wrong direction, that means it's going to show up on the 1.5 miles too. I can tell you from experience, Matt is right, but if you have a really good race car, you're going to love the 1.5 miles. He's right. You got to have a good race car to compete on the 1.5 miles. And if you don't, you're going to hate life. You're going to hate it. So Matt's going to look back later on, 5 years from now, and he's going to fit right in there with, Mike Skinner and all the greats in the truck series. And he's going to go, I love NASCAR. I forgive myself for not running good at the end of my career. But it wasn't him. It wasn't Matt. It was his team. So I'm going to leave you all with this. When things aren't going good in our lives, you're bitter, everything's bad. But you come up for fresh air later on, and you go, man, how thankful I am for winning all those championships. So Matt Crafton, just bitter, but he'll let a little time go. He'll go run his dirt car, and he'll realize that it was NASCAR that made him a champion. It was NASCAR that made him who he is today. And I went through this. I hated NASCAR. I hated everybody. And then 5 years went by, and I said, okay, I'm ready to forgive myself. Okay, Marcus Smith, I'll come back and I'll do trackside lives. It'll be all right, Matt. It'll be all right. And it sucks when you can't run good when you're used to running good. All right, everybody. Today's the Xfinity race. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Have a great Saturday, everybody.